to Life Chats with Maggie and Bunny. I'm Maggie.
And I'm Bunny.
Hi, Bunny. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Today we have a guest with us, and her name is Bebe Elizabeth Carver, one of our authors and one of our local business women in the community. So before I introduce her, I just want to read a little bit to you about her so you get to know her in the way that we know her. Bebe lives in the Niagara region of Ontario, Canada. She's passionate and has always been passionate about health and fitness. She has over 20 years of experience in personal training and fitness coaching. She went to school and obtained a degree in physical education, certified fitness appraisals, and executive fitness coaching. Whoa, that's a mouthful. She is also an inspirational motivational coach and activity program director. She taught aerobics for many years and was the co-owner of a local health club. She was also the program director of the local YMCA. She currently has a private coaching practice and designs health and wellness action plans locally and remotely. She specializes in anxiety issues. Her website is thekindfulnesstherapy.ca. She owns and operates a wine tour company in the Niagara-on-the-Lake area, plans corporate events, team building, and tours, along with company retreats for groups of 10 to 300 people. Wow. Her website for that company is uncorkniagara.com. But today, we want to talk to Bebe about this book.
Mm-hmm.
I personally met Bebe at a women's event where there were a number of local tables set up and at Falls in Vineland area. And the second that we met each other, we connected and we started talking. And next thing you know, she told me she was writing a book. And I said, hey, I actually own a company that helps people publish books. So ta-da, that's how it's happened.
Serendipity.
And that's how this book came to be. We love this book. Bebe is one of our solo authors. So, Bebe, the first question I want to say today, after I say welcome to our podcast, our live chats, I want to say, why did you write this book?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on today. I'm so grateful that you ladies are entertaining this whole idea, and thank you for that amazing introduction. I wrote this book in hopes of sharing some of my stories, my feelings about a different point of view of what happened to me in my past as a child. I learned very young to turn toxic happenings and traumatic experiences around to more positive thinking. And what I decided to do was I wanted to write a book for many years about it, and try to help people with my book, with my ideas and my I call them my golden keys, keys to success, to show them that it doesn't matter where you came from or who you were as a child or even as an adult or whatever, how poor you were or how abused you were. It doesn't matter. You can climb out of the bucket like a crab and make your way through and become as successful as you want to be.
I love the back of the book where you wrote, can life's obstacles be keys to success? Can a girl trapped in poverty, abuse, and quiet desperation escape into the imaginative thoughts to survive and ultimately flourish? If this is you and you felt like you were born different or you didn't fit in, breathe easy, knowing that family history doesn't really matter. That sentence itself is so cool. It doesn't matter where you come from.
No, and as a child, when you're a little child, you don't realize that you're not living the same way as other kids are living. I always thought that everybody went to bed hungry or had a raging father that his mother take the paycheck from his mother or from his wife, and I didn't have any idea of what it was like to be like a more blessed child. I just had tragic things happen to me, and I just kind of muddled my way through them. Each chapter in my book talks about a pivotal life event that I endured, and I reframed it to a more positive golden key
Mhm.
to success. My first chapter, I talk about my dog Sugar Pops, who had an extraordinary ability to know whether my father, who I called Sir, was drunk or not, and if he was out of control, the dog would actually lead me out of the house and not into the house, where I
Right.
would be, you know, things. The golden key that I learned from that was intuition. In my second chapter in the book, I talk about my courage key, and that's a little bit more, um, a little bit. That chapter was a little harder for me because that's when I actually was kidnapped for a little while from an abuser, and I was only 6 years old. And one of the hardest things for me to do was to forgive him. But once I learned to do that, it really helped my free spirit.
Mhm.
My third key in the book that I learned was confidence. And this is when I really pushed myself when I was being harassed and teased by other kids, and didn't feel like, that tried to make me feel like I wasn't worthy. I just was I just showed them different. I showed them, no, I am worthy and I am special, and I sold the most brownie cookies.
Yeah.
That was against all the odds, and it was just to win it was just to show them that I was worth it, rather than win the prize.
Yeah.
In my chapter 4, in my gratefulness key, um, I saw possibilities, and different things came to light for me because we had charity come to their house at Christmas, and I realized that there are kind people out there
Right.
everywhere, and that was huge. And then in my resourceful key in chapter 6, when other kids labeled me, and I found that total strangers were so kind to me,
Mhm.
and no matter what happened, I could always seem to bounce back. And I don't know how from such a small child it happened, but I just would reframe it and think about how to get out of situations, and I was always about helping others,
Right.
and
Mm.
that seemed to be the answer to a lot of things. So my chapter 6 was a compassionate key. I learned at a very young child, as a young child, that um, that no matter how abused you are by a parent or whatever, you have to learn to forgive them. And that's when my father, I called Sir, actually, he kind of got blown up in the garage by a acetylene tank, and I had to pull him out and kind of rescue him. And
Mhm.
as abusive as he was, I thought, I just had to get the strength and the attitude and the positive attitude to know that this is really important, that I have compassion for him.
Right.
Wow. So at the core of who you are, you really believe that those keys are real life helps to you, and that
Yeah,
anybody has the ability to change their life.
exactly. That's what it's about. And that's what I want to teach people. And that's the whole reason for the book. It's quite humiliating and embarrassing, some of the stories in that book, but it was worth it to be vulnerable, and to tell the stories, because so many times we hide those stories
Right.
and let anybody know about them. And when you take a big step like this and you put yourself out there, it's a little bit scary. It's like going through a dark forest, but you always end up on the other side, in
Right.
this bright.
Well, I
And
I
Bunny
know
and I
per
have talked before on this podcast that things that are in the dark, once you bring them to the light, they can't be dark again. They
yeah.
stay light. And that's why we do what we do, is because we believe that every single person has a story of hope and resilience. Every single person has something important to share with somebody else. And that's how we change our world, one person at a time, one book at a time, one changed life at a time. So it's so brave of you to lay all of that embarrassment aside and, stand up strong and powerful in who you are to share. And how have you felt since the book come out about who you are?
I've been feeling really good. In fact, uh, it's really helped me with my coaching, because I have so many clients that are struggling, especially right now. There's a lot of anxiety in the world right now, and I'm really helping them with that. And I think them knowing that I've been through some stuff really helps them reinforce to think that they can have whatever they want, too. They can be successful in every way, not just financially, but, mentally, spiritually, physically, whatever way they want, whatever way they choose. So I think it's really helped me in my coaching career, be a good example.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Bunny, how about you? Do you have any questions?
So I recently kind of came to understand and have heard where somebody said, what is your medicine? Like, what is your medicine that you offer to the world? And I had to understand, like, what does that mean exactly? So I think what they told me was it was something that you've overcome, or something that you have gone through that you then have overcome, and you can then help medicate, through the medicine, other people in the world. So what would you say your medicine is through what you have done and through this book?
I think in one word, I would just say it's positivity.
Mm-hmm.
My positivity and my attitude and my curiosity for the state of wonder and beauty that's really all around us. That I show that more than, I call it the big life and the little life.
Mm-hmm.
In the little life, you have all these worries and all these drama going on. But I just put myself when I was a child into the big life picture, where there's all the beauty,
Right.
and about how we're here on this planet and we're rotating at a very incredibly fast speed, and yet we don't even notice. There's so many
Mm-hmm.
things we don't notice and we're not aware of. Like,
Right.
it's just all the things that are out there, and we don't learn a lot about it. So it's so important to just look beyond our everyday patterns and what we go through.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And I know your intention behind the book, which, if you want to explain a little bit more behind, why did you write this book? Like, what was your intention behind it?
So I wanted to write this book for many years. It took me 10 years to write this book.
Mhm.
At first, it was a healing book, I have to say. I was trying to heal myself. But then as I kept writing it, I kept realizing that, that I was different than other people, and that maybe I should be like a bit of a leader to show them that, they can get out of that, whatever unique situation they're in. They don't have to get stuck there. And I think that was my intention, to just be a leader and show them that there's so much more out there than, and don't take on all those little things, because it's not where you come from, it's who you become.
Right.
Right, right. And it's so important for people to know, who are listening, that it doesn't matter how long it takes you
Right.
to get out of where you are. The
No.
important thing is that you get to where you want to be,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I say, and I said last night in a meeting, and I say every chance I get, we're born perfect. We are born exactly who we are. It's things that happen to us in our lifetime that tell us we are less than. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not about becoming something that you're not. It's about becoming who you truly are. And sometimes our life experiences teach us that we're less than, but we're not.
Mm-hmm.
And your book is living proof that it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get out of it. And it doesn't even matter how long it takes you to write the book. The important thing is that you did, and you're a living example of how somebody can change their life and offer healing to other people and offer hope to other people. Because as we're having this conversation, I will pretty much guarantee you that there's somebody out there who thinks they're the only person that has gone through something like this. The stories that are in this book really happened to you. And I guarantee you there's somebody out there listening who thinks the suffering that they're in, they're the only ones, and they don't know a way out. And in this book, you give them those keys. That little girl holding the keys in her hand, you can give those keys to them. So how can people reach you for your kindfulness therapy if they want some help?
So the best way to reach me would probably be by email. And my email address is bb@kindfulnesstherapy.ca. And kindfulness only has one L.
Yeah.
Then-
Two S's.
We will put it. I
And-
shouldn't say we will put it. Buddy will put it.
Yeah, it will be in the description as well. Now I did want to just touch on, so with this book and through this book, you have shown inspiration. You have been an inspiration to people who would have read this book. Has anybody reached out to you already, or what kind of feedback have you gotten from the book?
Yes, I've had a lot of people reach out to me from the book,
Mhm.
saying I had one lady that said she had the exact same things happen to her, and I thought, whoa.
Wow.
But I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say that they've been in situations like mine, and that they admire me, and quite a few emails and quite a few texts, and saying that they were in awe of me, which is so
Mhm.
cute because I'm just me. But
Right.
I thought that was so kind for them to say that.
Yeah, that's
Well,
nice.
and I can say personally, the very first time that I met you, you had a magnetic personality that exuded kindness. And when you sent us the book to read, I never would have imagined that those things happened to you.
Mhm.
Never in a million years would I have thought this book were true. And that holds true for anyone out there. You don't wear your suffering. You don't need to keep it on like a coat. BB does not show to people, unless she's talking about her book, what kind of suffering she went through in her life. She doesn't wear it every day because you don't have to. You have a choice to
Exactly.
change your suffering into something wonderful. And that's just the message that we get out to people. And we hope to let people know that no matter what it is, you have a choice to change your life every single day, every single moment, in every single day. If you don't like where you are, change it.
So speaking of that, even where do you see your keys helping you in the future? And where, like, do you still hold those? Do you still use those? Or do you find other keys in your day-to-day life as you move forward?
Yeah, just getting back to that other point
Yeah.
for a minute. Um, it's funny because I've had people come up and say to me, oh, they're from a bad family. And then I think to myself, in my inside voice, if they only knew. They have no idea. Sometimes, they'll make a judgment. And I think to myself, but I see what was the question again, Bunny?
It's
It
just
was
how do you use your keys for the future?
for the future. I use my forgiveness key a lot.
Mm. Yeah.
And And I think that was the biggest key that was so important for me because I think a lot of people are hanging on to a lot of
Mhm.
different things that have happened to them. And if you can just forgive, I mean, if you can forgive somebody that, picked you up and abused you, a stranger when you're a child, or if you can forgive someone who is physically abusive to you and just send them your love, I think that you're a free spirit. You're a free spirit. They don't have a hold of you anymore.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
really
Mhm.
important.
And forgiveness doesn't mean what they did was okay.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that it's okay. Forgiveness is for you,
Mhm.
not for them even.
Oh,
It is all about you, and it's for you. And it I also want to point out too and highlight that forgiveness isn't something that you do one time and then you never have to go back there again.
exactly.
Sometimes when we forgive, we have to keep going back and forgiving again, because every time it comes to our mind and to our attention, or the wound opens, because that
Mhm,
happens.
Mhm.
The reality is it's a lifelong thing until it doesn't happen anymore.
Mhm.
mhm,
It's not a one-time deal. So you will use these keys probably a lot in your lifetime.
Yeah.
exactly. And I think other people, if they could even pick up a few keys, they would do really well. I mean,
Right.
there's so much anger and hate right now in the world, and it's just unnecessary and so much division. We don't need that. We all need to be kinder to each other, and that'll just change everything.
Right.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Wow. Any final words, Bunny?
No, I was gonna ask BB if she had anything else, if she had anything else she wanted to talk about or sum up or whatever she wants to do.
Um, I would just like to say, this working with you two ladies has been such a great experience for me, and you made it so easy and seamless to write this book. I had it inside me all that time, and then, you know, you just were there for me and comforted me when I had to write some of the hard, difficult parts about the book, which wasn't easy. And you were always there for me, just saying, it's okay, just, you know, write the book and we'll see what happens. And that was really nice. And I think At and Above and Beyond is a great self-publishing company.
Yeah, we help people publish. But yeah, I want to say, like, I know I can speak for both of us, but Maggie can still have her say. It was such an honor to be the first two people to see your book, right? To be able to help you through that process, and to just the vulnerability that you showed, and the ability to inspire even the two of us as well, while we were helping you edit and compile the book for and it is available on Amazon. You can also go to our website as well, at aboveandbeyond.com, and you can find BB's book listed in our solo page, which actually has a link to Amazon, so you can buy it through there. If you're local, I'm sure that BB can also get you some local copies as well, and so even signed copies probably. So,
Crazy.
Yeah. So thank you so much, BB, for joining us today. And as Bunny said, it was our absolute privilege to work on this book with you. And there's not really words to express the gratitude that we feel for people who trust us with their words. Because, all of our solo authors have trusted us
right.
as a brand new company. And there's not even words to say how much gratitude we have for that you would trust us with your words. It's powerful. And to everybody out there, we wish you a fabulous week, and please reach out to BB if you need some help with anxiety, if you have a story that you need help figuring it out, if you're at the beginning, the middle, or the end, if you need some support, BB is there to help you, and you will see it, that she can help you through that stuff. And just look for her on her website or our website, and she will be able to help you with that.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, BB, for joining us.
Thank you so much. So yes, as always, so we do put our podcast out on Facebook, YouTube, and everywhere podcasts can be found, every Monday at 11 a.m. And our website, if you want to reach out to us, is at aboveandbeyond.com, or our email address at aboveandbeyond@gmail.com. And I will put information for BB in this podcast description, so you'll be able to reach out. Thank you very much, BB.
Thank you, ladies.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.